I welcome you to Bible Times, and I'm Willard Pless. And today we want to talk about 2025 as being like Jesus' last 12 hours of life. Now we see this things happening in conjunction with what he went through. We know that 2024 was the first 12 hours, and in 2025 is the last 12 hours. And both these years started with Joel's prophecy. 24 started with the sun turning to darkness, and 2025 started with the blood moon. And we understand that Joel said this would be the last two signs just before Jesus comes. So we're getting close to his return. So we want to talk about the last 12 hours here that we look at and see each month means an hour. The last 12 hours, and we know the Jewish time started at 6 o'clock at sundown until 6 o'clock the next morning. And so this is the 12 hours that they took Jesus to crucify him. And they began that at daybreak at 6 o'clock, and by 9 o'clock, they put him on the cross. And as we look at this in conjunction with this year, that the year started in April. See, that's the Bible calendar. It starts in April, which actually started on March the 29th, 27th or 29th, I don't remember right now, but it started on March, and it'll go through till March the 22nd. So this will be the last year. This is the 12 hours. So they put him on the cross at 9 o'clock. And see, this is July. When you look at the month, this is July. And this is when President Trump signed the one big beautiful bill that's been signed into law now. And so it's in effect, and see, this came about in conjunction with Jesus' put on the cross. So you can look at this in a way that to realize that the world, especially as looking at Israel, see, this is when the economy got crucified. The economy of the world got crucified on July the 4th. And when we come to October, see, this will be at noontime, and this is when the darkness came, when Jesus was on the cross. You remember that darkness came at noon, and this is when darkness is going to come to this world. This is when the one big beautiful bill is going to crash. Now you can read Revelation chapter 17 and 18 and understand what the Bible's talking about there. See, that's talking about the one big beautiful bill crashing, that the 10 kings that President has put under him and given them the ability to be kings, and they will be loyal to him and support him for a time. And then when we come to October, they're going to hate the big beautiful bill, and they're going to take it down. And we read that here in Revelation chapter 17. And I hope you can get in this stuff and look at it and see what in the world's going on, and see this is happening in conjunction with Jesus' last 12 hours. That these 12 months are going to be in conjunction. And so the world's going to turn very dark. If you look at Revelation chapter 10, that God gave to John to reveal that it's going to turn very bitter in this world. And this will be coming in October. This is when the darkness came, and this is when the dark time's going to come upon this world, and the big beautiful bill's going to crash. And so you just have to look at all the details and everything that goes on here. You just have to look at that. And then when we come to January, this is when Jesus gave up his life on the cross. This is when he died. And we're looking at this, that this could very much bring about some things that's going to happen, and we just have to look at this. Of course, you know Jesus died, and then they took him down from the cross, and they put him in the tomb before the Sabbath began, because at 6 o'clock, the Sabbath began, and they wanted him they didn't want hanging on the cross during the time of the Sabbath, so they took him down, and this is the time that, of course, they put him in the grave, and then 3 days later that he arose. And so you can look for a lot of things to happen in conjunction with this. Now, I know that the marriage supper of the Lamb is going to take place in here, and then after the marriage supper of the Lamb takes place in heaven, then Jesus comes to earth riding the white horse. And I'm thinking that the resurrection is going to be in conjunction with his resurrection. That it's going to take place about the same time that Jesus arose. And you'll just have to look in here. We know it was sometime 3 days later after they'd put him in the tomb. And you can look at that marriage supper of the Lamb is going to take place in here. And then Jesus will be coming to this world. And we see this thing happening and taking place. And we just want to look at these things and look at what's going on here. And we're seeing that 2025, the 12 months of the year of 2025 is going to be like Jesus' 12 hours, his last 12 hours on the cross. There's going to be a lot of things play over here. But see, Jesus is not going to feel the pain this time. That the world's going to feel the pain. Jerusalem and the world, the Jewish people, are going to feel the pain. And we learned that when October comes, that in November, that they're going to turn against President Trump. They're going to cut him off. Israel's going to cut him off. And then they're going to flood Jerusalem. And we're thinking that the flood's going to come in January, just like the flood came when came up on Capitol Hill, that they flooded Capitol Hill in January of 2021, and we're looking at when January comes, that they're going to flood Jerusalem, and this is going to be the time that the Bible talks about. That's going to bring a lot of turmoil and destruction upon Jerusalem. That this is going to take place, and they're supposed to flee into the wilderness. When this starts happening, that they're supposed to flee into the wilderness. And see, this is when Jesus is going to choose the 144,000 as well. And when he comes, he's going to meet with the 144,000 Jews there on Mount Zion where he was crucified. See, we got to understand what the Bible is talking about here. And see, Jesus gave the time and the season. He said you can't know the day or the hour, but you can know the time and the season. See, the signs of the time is the time, and then when he gave the parable of the fig tree there in Matthew chapter 24, that he's given the season. That when you see the things, you know the time's here and the season's here. And this is where we're at. And Jesus said there in Matthew 24, he said about the servants that had been called to give meat in due season. That means to talk about this stuff, to talk about what's really going on. And I know there's a lot of people that are in the world that are not walking with Jesus, and they can't see really what's going on and understand what's going on. And I know the majority of the world's not going to be able to understand either. And I know people are turning away from listening to what I'm saying and what I'm talking about, and that's all right. You have the privilege to walk away and shut it down if you want to, but I encourage you not to do that because we're here. And Jesus is going to be coming soon. This world's winding down. We're in the tribulation years now. Tribulation started in 2018. Be for 7 years, so it'll go through 2025. And see that if you're using the Bible calendar, it runs from April to April. And so this year started in April. As we're looking at it in conjunction with the Bible calendar. The month of Nisan or Nisan is the first month of the year. And Jesus gave Israel that time when they left Egypt. And you can go there and study that. So we want to use the Bible calendar. I know you can use all these other calendars that are set up if you want to, but and you need to take the time that we're using now, like the Gregory calendar, the 12 months, and you got to make it work with the Jewish calendar. And if you do that, then you'll be able to understand things that's taking place. And all these signs are here, and Jesus is going to be coming soon. And we do encourage you to talk to him and walk with him, fellowship with him, because that's what's going to count. You can't just be religious and think that's going to work. That's not going to work. You gotta have him in your heart, and you got to be walking with him. And I hope you'll do that. And so stay with us on these studies, because we're going to be doing more. And so we say God bless you and you have a great day.